Stephen Shields Radio Show.
All right. What is going on, everyone? Stephen Shields is back. He is back on the Stephen Shields Radio Show. I hope everyone is going well. I am all the way in Sydney, Australia at the moment. I haven't done a live stream like this for a while. Basically, I've been trying out, the new trend of social audio. If you know what social audio is, it's a new thing. I've been using Wisdom as well, and Wisdom's been fantastic as well. It's allowed me to reach people across the world, actually, which is really cool to have. As you can see, I'm live streaming on Streamyard at the moment, and yeah, it's interesting. Live streaming is I think it's harder for me actually to live stream because what you see my show is I interview people, and that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. But really enjoyed doing the solo shows, just me talking to you right now, as well on this Facebook live stream. It's been really good. But there's a lot going on, guys, in Australia. I think the whole country's just going to shit. I see it like this, since Albo's taken over the top job of Prime Minister for this nation, all he's talking about is carbon emissions and climate change and energy and all that shit. It's like, what's going on? Why the government want to spend all this money on climate change policies, and all they just want to do is just focus on cleaning the environment? I mean, I see it now. I used to be a fan of climate change, but I feel climate change is all bullshit. That's how I see it now. I think it's just political shit, going on. I'm just fed up with it. I'm fed up with these protesters from Blockade Australia putting people's lives at risk, protesting over climate change and carbon and energy and all that junk. Like, come on. You gotta understand this. Where's the actual evidence of climate change? Okay? Whoever said back in 2009 that it wasn't going to rain is an idiot. I was watching Mark Latham last night on Ellen Jones. Ellen Jones has got a app. It's quite interesting what Mark Latham was talking about, all the floods in Camden. Now, you see that the Labor voters don't like Mark Latham. Ask the Labor voters why. Latham was popular in 2005. But why now? Why don't they like him since he's gone to Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party? So this is what I'm fed up with. Whenever there is a natural disaster, a flood, a bushfire, right? Always want to blame the Prime Minister. Now, Anthony Albanese went off to Ukraine, okay? Went to Ukraine to visit President Zelensky. Now, don't you think that's similar to what ScoMo did back in the 2020 bushfire season? Just have a think about that, guys. Doesn't that sound similar? Doesn't that ring a bell? Clearly, when the Sydney trains decided to go on strike, Dominic Perrottet found an excuse that, it was the Labor Union stuff up. Blame the Labor Union. Like, own up to it. Admit who stuffed it up and stop blaming people for the trains, because commuters have got to go to work, We've got families to feed. People don't want to work from home forever. And this is what Perrottet is saying. Now, I like Dominic Perrottet. I think he's a great family man. I think he's got a lot of good values for this nation. But you certainly want to start questioning his views. Okay, I mean, Mark Latham confronted him in Parliament, I think it was during the federal election campaign, about transgender rights and LGBTQ. And now Dominic Perrottet will say, yeah, I support, and Latham confronted him, say, mate, pull your head in, all right? What's going on? You know? I mean, politics can be a filthy business in this day and age. Mike McGowan and Clive Palmer. Well, Palmer's suing McGowan for those stupid things in the Western Australian. I forgot what the fucking Western Australian version of the Herald is. You can't be doing that shit. All right, you just can't do that shit. You know, as I see it like this, it's always becoming a changing game in this business of politics. They want to spend all this money on climate change, carbon emissions. Coal is very expensive. The cost of living is getting to the point where it's just expensive in this nation. Inflation as well has really fucked everyone over. Yeah, the government is in $1 trillion of debt because of JobKeeper and JobSeeker. But at least ScoMo was willing to give money out to the people who lost their jobs back in 2020. But what I'm not happy about, what I'm fed up with, is this COVID-19 business, all these vaccine mandates, these discriminating people with vaccines, saying that you can't travel, you can't do this if you're not vaccinated. I mean, that's just completely stupid. Now, I got my 4th booster shot today, alright? Look at it like this. I want to protect myself as much as possible from this virus. Now there's a new Omicron strain coming out. Apparently that's causing night sweats and shit like that. What other strain is going to come out and, make havoc, create chaos with people? I don't know. But was COVID-19 genetically modified in the laboratory is a question. It could be. It's quite possible it was. You know that? It's quite possible. You got to understand, this virus came all the way from Wuhan, China. And all the way in China, there's probably plans of World War III with China and Russia pairing up with each other. So Australia's on high alert. Australia's sent armoured vehicles to Ukraine to help President Zelensky out. Ukrainians are fleeing for their life. Kids can't go to school. The way I see it, is online education is very disengaging to people. I feel that online education, it's very, you're just sitting in front of a computer on Zoom all day. It's very distracting. Kids don't learn. Kids don't retain the information. Hell, I can't even retain all that information at once with online education. We had this cancel culture shit from the left. CNN cancel culture, Joe Rogan cancel culture. I'm just fed up with cancel culture. I'm fed up with tech companies like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Shadow banning people, shadow banning me, YouTube the same. They're all shadow banning people, conservatives who support the right wing in politics. So I'm doing a live stream today on Facebook to prove my point and to speak up and stand up for my rights. Because this is just darn unacceptable in this nation, in this country. Because conservatives have a reason and have a right to speak up and stand up for their beliefs. Now, if you're what they call the extremists, the right-wing extremists, that's very unacceptable and that's wrong. You should be kicked off. Okay? I'm talking about the right, who spread hate speech and bullying. That's not acceptable. That is not cool at all. But for people like me who have a purpose and have a drive and have a passion and a desire for this business, I want to be the best that I can be. This is what I'm here for. You know that? I show up because I want to show up. I show up because this is my dream, this is my passion, and this is what I want to do. Okay? You gotta look at it like this. There's so much blaming and jargon going up in state politics and federal politics as well. It's whenever there's a federal election coming out, it's always it seems to me, like I said before, it's going to become a how can I say it like this? A political football match. Political football, it's gotten to the point where, what's next in political football? Where are you going to kick the ball? It's like the Badgerys Creek Airport. This is political football. This is going on way before I was born. This is going on even way before I existed on this earth. Why has it taken the government so many darn years just to build an airport? I mean, someone tell me. If someone has an answer for this, tell me now. Put it in the comments if you do, or listen to the replay. You know that. Someone tell me the way I see it. Because clearly COVID-19 is never going away. Right? The coronavirus is not going away. I've had a 4th booster shot today. I want to arm myself. I want to protect myself from this virus as much as I can. All right? But what I want to know is, why are people still catching COVID-19, even having a booster vaccine, even being boosted for starters, they're catching COVID-19. The Australian government's got to address this issue. Brad Hazzard's got to address this, because the New South Wales government just keeps changing the fucking rules all the time and pissing people off. But a lot of people are pissed off with vaccine mandates, pissed off with COVID. It's pretty much becoming another flu. So I don't know who's changing these rules all the time. But please stop. Just tell the truth, okay? Don't keep changing rules all the time about you need to do this, you need to do that, and New South Wales becoming a police state. Yes, this is a deadly virus. Yes, this virus kills. Yes, this virus is so contagious. But I'm more, worried about the mental health aspects and what it's done to people's mental health and psyche in the mind. Okay? People are fed up with the fear that it's done. People want to go out and enjoy their lives like we all once did, pre-COVID-19, pre-pandemic as well. Okay? I certainly, for starters, want to, have a life where, we can just live with this COVID-19 virus and just live life the way we did before and just keep going. Yeah, where's the community? Where is our community that we used to have years ago? What's happened to it? It's gone. You know that? Where is our community gone now in the world? What's happened to us is a question I have. As I'm live streaming today on Facebook, I haven't done a live stream for a while. I took a break. I went to social audio and wisdom. I'll still be doing wisdom, but I look at it like this. In 1 year, I've done 300 episodes of the Stephen Shields radio show. I've done 300 videos on Shields Productions on YouTube. I'm now on Rumble. I've paid my dues, and YouTube and these tech companies keep shadow banning me and discriminating me and burying me in the algorithm and making it virtually impossible for me to get noticed. And that's wrong. That is darn wrong. And these tech companies, these tech companies need to pull their fingers out of their assholes and wake up and give small content creators like myself a chance. Because there's a lot of small channels out there who have got talent and have real true potential, but hey, they might not be able to market themselves properly. They deserve to be heard. Alright? My music is the same. I write music the way I want to write music, and that's what I do. You know that. I just get sick of it. I probably sound like I'm cranky, but I'm fed up. I came across an article in the Sydney Morning Herald about shadow banning, and I really read into it. I really had to read into it. And, I suppose it's, sorry about that, guys. See, I'm trying out streaming at the moment, giving it a go. I suppose it's all about, what is your niche, finding your voice to speak up, finding your true path, your true calling as well, finding how you want to market your work and be marketable as well. So that's how it is. That's how it is, guys. And this is what, I want to do as a content creator. I thought today I'd have a day off, but I just felt called to do a live stream and to be able to stream live for everyone. You know that. And to find that the Stephen Shields radio show is the best podcast in this business. I truly mean it. It's the best podcast in this business. You know that, guys? Life has always been about trial and error, I feel. You can't make everyone happy. But you can just be happy in yourself. I've had to learn, how to be proud of myself as well for the achievements that I've done, and I will constantly keep achieving what I need to do and what I was put on here to do as well. So the thing is, the Australian government has become very cocky and pissed people off. ScoMo pissed people off. I don't know how Albo's going to go. So a lot of people lean towards independence. And the Liberals got smashed this year at the federal election. They got smashed. Big time they got smashed. And you look at it like this, it's for that stuff to happen, why? Why would it happen like that? Why do the libs get smashed? They shouldn't have. Look, there's certainly a lot of things John Howard did to piss people off with GST, gun control, disarmed all the guns in Port Arthur. A lot of farmers were pissed off with him. John Howard, how many years was he Prime Minister? Inferior complex got to him when Harold was putting him down all the time. It's like Vladimir Putin, inferior complex. These people with this inferior complex are like 5'8", roughly 5'2". I don't know off the top of my head, but around 5 foot, and people talking down to them all the time, making jokes about them. One day they want to do something they want to be remembered for. Inferior complex. And you look at it like this with inferior complex. How many world leaders have had inferior complex in life? How many world leaders have, decided that enough's enough? People put you down, and just cleaning my glasses, sorry about that. People put you down and you just feel that enough's enough and fuck this. I'm just going to go and make a move and do what I need to do to get myself known and get myself heard. You get people like Alex Jones. I'm talking the American right-wing conspiracy theorist who does episodes for 3 hours, and it's like, half the time I have no idea what he's talking about. But yeah, strange, isn't it? Very strange that happens with inferior complex at the same time. You know that. But as I've been doing the Stephen Shields radio show, it's really been it's been a blessing for me, because I've been able to connect with a lot of people live, be able to talk with a lot of people, be able to share my views and my opinions on these current issues. I'm not very happy with the climate change situation here. I mean, I think that stuff's just all bullshit. I was interested at one stage, but just got to the point they're chopping down all these trees just to make way for an airport, and yet the greenies are like, we got to save the environment and we need trees. Well, they're clearly chopping down trees. I don't know. This is all political shit going on. It's like whenever it's a natural disaster in this country, it's all, they want to play politics with the SES and the Rural Fire Service up top in the state government over a flood, and they want to blame each other over a flood. Like, it's a natural disaster. Flood was going on before you were born. Camden's always flooding in the Nepean River. It's always been like that. We've had drought in Australia. We've had drought for years in this country. For the last 2 years, we've had a wet summer that just doesn't stop raining. I mean, clearly, if you go to the Northern Territory, you go in the wet. It's always raining, but very humid and hot and humid, and oh my God. But I have noticed here too, we've had, quite a few humid summers, but nothing like what you get up at Kakadu or Darwin. So I don't know what the situation with Anthony Albanese is going to be. Clearly, he's got a very left-wing point of view. He's a nice, decent bloke. I like him. I think he's a great bloke. But I just don't know. there's a lot of things like inflation. The government needs to crack down on this because the cost of living is just getting so expensive. There's been so many teacher strikes, and teachers want a pay increase. Then you look at it, well, being a teacher, it's not a very easy job to do that, and I can understand why they want pay increases, and yet they want to put vaccine mandates in the Department of Education. Not all teachers want to get vaccinated. I mean, that's their choice. But you see how we've become a civilization, a police state. Now, I think vaccinations are great. I think, if we vaccinate ourselves, we can protect ourselves from all these viruses and diseases. Like there was a new one, one came out around called monkeypox. There's a vaccine for monkeypox. It's the smallpox vaccine. And if we can protect ourselves more from all this stuff, that's all we can do, is just protect ourselves and find that, hopefully someone one day finds a cure for coronavirus, or finds a cure for, they were able to wipe out SARS back in 2003, which quite deadly and fatal. I don't know what's going on with the defense in this country about the Solomon Islands. Clearly, if China wanted to invade, they could invade Australia. Japan invaded, bombed the Northern Territory in World War II. So it wouldn't surprise me if the north of Australia got hit. And I certainly hope it doesn't. This nuclear submarine that Scott Morrison brought in, I don't know. It's going to take years to build it, but definitely support him on that decision of defense, because we need something to defend the country and defend the nation as well. Clearly, John Howard, and you look back in time of our leaders, Bob Menzies, 18 years Prime Minister, was going around visiting the troops in World War One on the battlefield, and that does show that Bob Menzies had a vision. Robert Menzies, or people call him Bob Menzies, had a vision for Australia. I think he was going to go to war himself. So this is what's happened, We've changed a lot as a society, and I just don't know what the hell's next for us. What is next? What changes are we going to make? And what is going to be the future of climate change? I just... the reason why I stopped going to TED Talks, because it just became all LGBTQ and climate change policies and all this shit, and I just lost interest. They're so far left, it's like, well, this is not what TED Talks used to be. You get an idea of who's supporting who after a while. But it's just all about being happy in what you have. I try to be as truthful as possible on this show and deliver on how I want to deliver and be how I want to be. But life is just too short. We've just got to do what what we're made to do. What I was made to do was create content. Because this is what I'm good at. And this is what every day I get up to do myself. But guys, this is a great show on the Stephen Shields radio show right now, streaming live on Facebook. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast and turn on notifications whenever you get a new episode every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. And take care, everyone, and bye for now.